Well, today we're at Lincoln University talking to Dr. Tansisa Harusio, who is a soil scientist here at Lincoln University, and we're doing a collaborative project with Lincoln University and the College of Agriculture at Mizzou. Dr. Harusio, explain what we're doing here.
Yeah, thanks Tim for coming here to visit us. This project is designed to address some of the major management concerns that vegetable growers in Missouri have.
And it's organic.
Organic, yeah.
Yes.
Organic growers. And one of the major problems that they face is weed control. Okay, and the solution that they have been using to address that issue is tillage, right? And as we know, soil disturbance through tillage is very destructive, and it destroys the soil organic matter. It burns, oxidizes the organic matter. So when you lose the organic matter, basically you are losing all the nice things that organic matter performs, like the soil structure, resistance to erosion, and soil nutrients. So all these things, and then ultimately, what that means is that as your organic matter content in the soil is going down, your productivity is going to go down as well.
Sure.
So we're trying to address that issue with some kind of sustainable solutions.
And it looks like you're using both perennial and annual solutions?
Yes. Yes. So yeah, that's a good question. So farmers have been expressing interest to use cover crops to address soil erosion problem, weed problem, and typically they use annual cover crops. Winter annual cover crops that are seeded in fall, grown through winter, and typically terminated in late spring, before the vegetable planting
right.
time. Yeah.
Right.
So we know that from the literature, annual cover crops are not good in restoring the soil organic matter content, and also controlling the weeds because of the above ground biomass issue.
So they're putting more above ground versus below ground.
Right.
And not really getting our soil carbon built back up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the reason why we said, okay, so we can, instead of just having annual cover crops, how about we try perennials?
Sure.
That can stay in place for at least 3 years before they go ahead and just, switch it to production.
So during those 3 years, those roots are going to keep growing deeper and deeper and sloughing more roots off and building that carbon back up.
Right.
One of the things that you mentioned a couple of times is soil erosion.
Yeah.
And with tillage, we get more, as you mentioned, but annual cover crops, they're protected some, but not like a perennial, will they?
Right. I mean, again, according to research, what we know is that annual cover crops, they do not produce as much above ground biomass as the perennials, right? I mean, the above ground biomass is also reflective of the below ground biomass, right?
Sure.
So if you don't have enough biomass, whether it's above ground or below ground, your ability to build organic matter is going to be very much limited. And your ability to control weeds is going to be very much limited. That's why we think perennials are going to be very effective in tackling that weed issue, as well as the soil erosion and soil organic matter buildup.
And do we want to go with just a monoculture of cover crop, whether annual or perennial, or do we want to go with a mix?
That's another good question. I think monoculture is just a single food source. It's a single substrate. So we want a mixture. Okay, we want something that's a mixture of for example, legumes and grasses. As we know, legumes can fix nitrogen, a good source of nitrogen, and the grasses can add carbon, and they can also complement that biomass production. So we prefer to have mixtures rather than monocultures.
And it affects the soil microbiology also, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, the soil microbiology depends on the carbon, the root exudates, and the rhizosphere carbon that's coming from roots of different mixtures of above ground plants. So for that reason, it's very important to enhance, diverse microbiome to have, mixture of cover crops.
And one tillage could destroy a lot of that, can't it?
It does. It does. I mean, this tillage thing, it not only it destroys the food source for the microbes, but it does destroy the soil structure. That's a very, very important thing, because you need soil structural stability to resist soil erosion, right?
Right.
So for that reason, we better avoid tillage as much as possible.
And our meteorologists are telling us that we're getting fewer rain events, but much more intense rain events.
Right.
I think this summer was a classic example of that.
Yeah.
How does structure fit into that then?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. So the soil structure is, it's just a spatial arrangement of soil particles, the sand, the silt, clay with organic matter. So organic matter is the binding agent. It's a glue that binds all these particles together. And in that structure, what you have is a network of pore spaces. So whenever there is intense rain, what's going to happen is that there will be a very rapid infiltration of that rain into the soil.
If we have good soil structure.
If you have good soil structure. If your soil structure is destroyed, and if the network of those pores are sealed, what's going to happen is runoff, and you lose your soil, you lose your basically your natural resource.
And that's something we can't get back in our lifetime.
We know that from the soil forming factors, it takes millions of years just to have like a very tiny amount of soil formed in our lifetime.
So these cover crops are helping us with our soil erosion, but also our soil health. And that's what you've really been talking about with the carbon and the soil microbiology and many other factors that go on. And chemistry is part of this too, isn't it?
It is. It is.
The nutrient turnover.
Yeah, it is. I mean, so the cover crops are typically grown between the cash crop growing season, right? So basically you are covering your soil. You are not exposing your soil to erosion or rain events or things like that. And what that does is the cover crops are adding carbon to your soil. That carbon is a substrate that induces the microbial activity that do the wonderful things in the soil. So basically, when we talk about soil health, we are talking about the soil microbiome. Yeah, so that's the key.
Getting back to that. And this is important in not only vegetable production, it's in grain production, any type of food production.
Yes.
This can make a big difference. And now, in this study, I see at least 3 different crops that you have that you're growing.
Yes.
You got tomato.
We have kale, and we have cucumbers.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so it's a 3-year rotation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So each year, like we have tomatoes right here, next year it
will be cucumber.
Then next year
will be kale.
Kale. Okay, so we have this 3-year, and that's more organic practices. That's what we want to look at.
So that's in keeping with the organic transition protocol. Yeah. So it's a 3-year rotation.
Good. So that gives us 3 very distinct type of species.
Right.
It helps with our disease cycles and lots of other things.
Yeah.
So, what's going to happen after year 3?
So that's a very good question. So the way we designed this study is that you have vegetable production beds and you have the pathways. So for the first 3 years, we are growing the cover crops in the pathways. Okay. So you have 2 different types of perennial cover crops. You have one annual cover crop, and then you have the control.
And the control is?
The control is just basically tilled.
Oh, what normally happens?
Yeah, exactly. So that gives you a good base to compare what these wonderful cover crop combinations are doing to your soil. So for the first 3 years, everything stays in place. Okay, we don't do anything. We occasionally mow the perennial cover crops, but the annuals need to be mowed periodically and also seeded each year.
Sure.
Right? And then in year 3, what's going to happen is that we switch the vegetable rows to where we had cover crops for the previous 3 years.
So all that biomass that you've been building up, it's in the soil, is going to be now where the crop is grown.
Exactly. So that way we will be able to evaluate how effective these different combinations of cover crops are in terms of providing the soil chemistry, the soil nutrients, and also the wonderful things that we have been talking about, the soil biology.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, and have you taken any soil measurements since you started this?
Yes, we have been taking soil samples each fall since we started. So we take soil samples both from the pathways as well as from the production beds.
And do you have any preliminary results yet on that?
Yes, we have first year results in, and no surprise, we did not see any significant differences yet. So
it takes a while, doesn't it?
It takes a while.
And I think that's something that we really have to stress is that it's not going to be a one-year thing.
No. I mean, a good comparison would be like application of lime.
Oh yeah.
You know, you apply lime and you don't expect results all of a sudden. It's gonna take time for the lime to react and show the effect. So same thing with cover crops. And based on the research data available out there, it takes at least 2 years or 3 years for the results to be noticeable.
So now at year 2, you might see some differences now.
Yeah.
This fall, and then next fall we really can see some nice differences.
That's what we are expecting, but you never know, like you said. Yeah.
That's why we do the research.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. And then seeing that response will be very interesting.
Yes, we are collaborating with producers, vegetable producers, both organic and non-organic. So they are very interested to see what these results show.
And from what they've told us so far, they really like these perennial beds, don't they?
Yes, that's the feedback we are getting from our cooperator producers. They really like the perennial ryegrass and white clover combination. So they told us that it's wonderful to work and easy to work with.
All right.
So yeah, I think that's one of the good compliments that we have heard from them.
Now, I also, in the background, I hear a lot of insects.
Yes.
Was there another reason for these cover crops?
Yeah, that's a good question. So especially with the idea behind using a combination of perennial cover crops is that they provide stable environment for beneficial insects, whether that's pollinators or natural enemies to the pests.
Right.
So that's and then we have an IPM specialist here at Lincoln who is going to install insect traps and see what kind of insects are prevalent here.
Wow. So it's kind of a win-win-win situation in that you're helping build your soil.
Yes.
But during that year you're growing, you can increase your pollinators, but also like you mentioned, you can have the natural enemies of some of these pests that we have.
Yes. So it's very interesting. I mean, organic producers, they have very few effective options available.
Right. Their toolbox is kind of small.
Very small, very limited. So that's why really we have to come up with an effective, sustainable way of dealing with pest issues and at the same time soil fertility and soil quality issues.
Because you mentioned soil fertility, and to me one of the big challenges in organic is to find a good end source.
Right.
Because we have manure or compost, but then we can overload ourselves on maybe phosphorus and can have some pollution problems.
Right. Especially here in Missouri, we have water sources, so that's going to be a big.
Could you visualize this being just a kind of a permanent going back and forth, 3 years rotation, then 3 years back where the cover crop was, and then the seventh year go back to where you started with?
That's the original idea.
Yeah.
It all depends on the funding availability, but I'm pretty sure with the preliminary data that we are able to gather so far, we should be able to make a very strong case to make this a long-term cover crop study here at Lincoln.
Right. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
And now, don't tell me what else you might find out here then. And another thing that just occurred to me.
Yeah.
With your tillage, it costs your money.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you do that quite frequently, right? Yeah.
With your annual, not as much, because you're mowing, it's not quite as intrusive, but you still have a seed every year.
Yes.
But perennial, it's a one-time.
It's a one-time deal.
Yeah.
So once you seed, all you have to do is just mow once or twice per season. Yeah.
Just to kind of maintain it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's just fantastic, and I know you've learned a lot. And here, toward the end of year 2 is really when your data is going to start showing.
Show some pattern. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, you mentioned carbon throughout this.
Right.
We're talking about sequestering carbon in our soil for good things, but also to take some of our atmospheric carbon down.
Right.
I mean,
it is. I mean, right now we know the climate is changing. I mean, there is a global warming. I mean, we see it happening. There is data to prove that. And of course, that's all caused by excessive carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And the best way, natural way of extracting that excess CO2 from the atmosphere is through the use of cover crops, and especially the perennials.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas we just till every year, we're actually making it worse.
It's making it worse.
Because the carbon oxidizes and goes up.
The tillage is breaking the soil structure. That's housing the carbon and exposing it to microbes. And then the microbes are feeding on that and releasing the CO2, just like we humans respire. So they're releasing carbon back to the atmosphere. So we don't want that tillage to destroy the structure that protects the carbon.
And sometimes I've noticed that when we've had long-term perennial crop, we till it up, and that first year we get a big boost.
Boom. Yep. So, you have the CRP for 8 years, 7 years, or 10 years. And then when you bring those CRP lands back into production, you do it using conservation tillage. Okay? So that way, I mean, you can lessen that, big boom.
And probably our early settlers, when they first settled our area and tilled up this perennial crop, wow, look at the crops I got.
Yeah.
But it was short-lived.
It's short-lived. I mean, the first, according to the literature that we have, first 3-5 years, they were able to, harvest a decent, crops. But after the 5th year, the productivity started to decline significantly. So they had to come up with some way of dealing with that issue, whether that's conservation tillage or cover crops. There is a lot of effort, there is a lot of scientific knowledge out there that shows the benefits of cover crops. But when you look at the adoption rate, it's still very low. And that has to do with the fact that we don't know much about cover crops yet. Like it's site specific. The effect of cover crops on these wonderful things we have been talking about depends on the soil type, the soil mineralogy, the climate. So it's region specific. So we can't really say, oh, this is just like one size fits all solution. Yeah.
And that's why you're doing the research comparing different perennials, different annuals.
For specific region, yes.
Right,
yes.
right, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this has been fantastic. It's so exciting. It really is.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to indicate?
No, so far so good. So like I said, we are hoping to see some kind of pattern after this year's growing season.
Yes.
And hopefully by the 3rd year we have some valuable data that we share with the producers, because the ultimate goal of this is just to help producers have some tools to deal with the management issues they have.
And there are producers that are working with you, and they're learning too.
They are learning too. They are very excited. They can't wait to see the final results.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you so much, Tansisa. We really appreciate it.